All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Chicago Bears. So, CHGO Chicago had JSN on their panel, and they asked Jackson Smith-Njigba, the rookie wide receiver from the Seattle Seahawks, his thoughts on Shane Waldron. And he had, this really weird, long, dramatic pause, and he asked if this was live, and then he proceeds to go with, oh, he's a good guy. And it has a lot of Bears fans kind of freaking out. And here's the bottom line, man. Shane Waldron, I think, is the perfect offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. And this month in general, for my Chicago Bears fans watching this video right now, it's just going to be so weird. We just saw Jay Glazer tell Caleb that he told Caleb Williams' camp that, you have a chance to go to Chicago. You got to go to Chicago. If you win, they'll erect bridges for you, streets for you, tunnels for you. It's a great city, yada, yada, yada. And then we see this weird random report that the Bears decide to draft Caleb Williams. Washington's going, Marvin Harrison. You're just seeing a ton of smoke and mirrors is pretty much my point. And none of it's really going to make sense. To JSN's comment, I would not look into this in any way, shape, or form. We're going to talk about Justin Fields in just a second here. But for Seattle's position, and even for, obviously, Shane Waldron's position, the Seattle Seahawks 1 year ago won 9 football games and made the playoffs with Geno Smith throwing for 30 touchdowns with a rookie, Kenneth Walker, all these young cats. And they made the playoffs, and they were beating San Francisco at halftime in the wild card round of the playoffs. And Seattle, 2 seasons ago, was projected to win 4 or 5 football games. And this past year, there's a reason why Seattle just wasn't the same Seattle team. And we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Justin Fields and Shane Waldron and that dynamic duo that could be on its way. But before we do, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Post a ton of Bears videos on this channel, so Bears fans, try and get this video to 250 likes. That would mean the absolute world to me. So when we take a look at the Seattle Seahawks season, they did not do as good as they did. They still won 9 football games, but they didn't make the playoffs, right? The offense ranked 17th the year before when Geno threw for 30 touchdowns and then made the playoffs. It was ranked 9th. All things considered, I actually think Seattle did a pretty good job this season. All right, Geno Smith did not look the same. 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He dealt with some injuries here and there. But that was kind of the reoccurring theme for the entire Seattle Seahawks offensive squad. They were 21st in total yards. They were 28th in total rushing yards. They were 16th in total passing yards. The offensive statistics just didn't look good. But Kenneth Walker dealt with just an insane amount of injuries all season. The offensive line dealt with an insane amount of injuries all season. There was not much continuity as far as health goes with the Seattle Seahawks offense, and especially their offensive line. So, if you ask a Seahawks fan, I'm sure there's some Seahawks fans watching this video right now, they had a couple of issues, third down and red zone, and I think a lot of that can just be equated with all the injuries that they faced. Shane Waldron's a very good offensive mind, all right? He likes big plays. He's aggressive. I really like the way he includes the run scheme, which we look at the Chicago Bears the last 2 seasons. The Chicago Bears ranked number 1 in total rushing yards per game. I get it. If you take Justin Fields out of the equation, they're only 24th in total rushing. But Justin Fields, last I checked, checks notes, he's currently on the Chicago Bears. I think it's a great match. And, like I said, it's February 7th at the time of this recording, and everything you see now is going to be smoke and mirrors until Ryan Poles actually does trade Justin Fields or doesn't trade Justin Fields. Because if you're Ryan Poles and you want to trade Justin, you need to start making calls relatively soon, because you got to get that value going. You got to get the proper value for Justin Fields. Are we taking, the 32nd pick? Are we taking the 34th pick? Is he going to Atlanta? Is he going to New England? Is he going to Vegas? Is he going to Pittsburgh? There's all these different equations, but you do want to start that process sooner rather than later. So I've been saying on this channel, I think in the next 3 weeks, once the month of February is officially over, that we will know if Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback for this team next season. And the whole thing with they'd be 24th, taking Justin Fields out, it's that's what makes Justin. And that's what's so annoying about it is, it's crazy. I've actually seen a couple of Bears fans say, I wish we, kept it going for a 3rd season. Luke Getsy runs a specific style of offense where he wants the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible. That's just not Justin Fields' forte. It just was not a good match in general. But I think we saw enough, even though the Chicago Bears won 3 football games 2 years ago, they saw enough to run it back with him for another season. I've been saying on this channel, like, if Justin Fields didn't play 2 years ago, I don't know if the Bears win more than 1 football game. This past season, I get it. Tyson Bagent comes in, wins 2 football games, but he gets the ball out. Tyson Bagent's a completely different football player than Justin Fields. So, yes, he went 2-2 as a starter during Justin Fields' injury, but there's just bigger things at play here. And I think Shane Waldron is much more suited. So finally, I want to end on this talking point because this is something we've been saying on this channel for it feels like months now when in regards to is Justin Fields the future quarterback for the Chicago Bears team. And it's like every NFL player loves this dude and they see the talent. Every former player loves this dude and they see the talent. And so you had Torrey Holt, the legendary wide receiver, and this was his exact quote when talking about Caleb Williams versus Justin Fields. I'm not taking Caleb Williams. I'm going to stay and build around Justin. I've said having a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. on the other side of DJ Moore and what that will do for DJ Moore and how he looks at the game when he has a guy across the field who is just as good as him. Torrey Holt basically just kind of keeps on going and says, getting consistency in the building from top down is going to be huge, not only for Justin, but for all of the Chicago Bears. Having that same continual message every year is beneficial because now you're being empowered by men and women that are part of the organization that are going to be there and have been there. It's been up and down. So I don't think it's a surprise that you have these OGs, you have these Hall of Famers like Torrey Holt speaking their mind and saying, Justin Fields has an unbelievable amount of talent, and you should run it back with him for one more season just to see what can happen. The Bears, when you watch Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, what you see typically is like 3 solid quarters. You'll see like 2 perfectly fine quarters from Justin Fields in the offense. Then you'll see 1 quarter where it's just like, damn, that's the potential. That's what we can be. They're firing on all cylinders. And then you have that 4th quarter or the 3rd quarter, or whenever it is, where it's just too inconsistent. And I think the Bears just have a lot of holes that they need to continue to fill out. And it's like, just kind of going off Torrey Holt and all those former players advocating for Justin. It's like Atlanta, New England, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh. You asked most of the fans in those organizations if they would take Justin Fields, and in a heartbeat, in a second, they're like, yeah, we'll trade for Justin Fields as long as it's, proper compensation in the draft. Like, yeah, we'll take Justin Fields. That dude can play it. So just kind of a Bears hype video, Justin Fields hype video. That's it for tonight. Let me know what you guys are thinking about Shane Waldron, Justin Fields, Caleb Williams, JSN, anything we covered in tonight's video. As always, let me know who QB1 is going to be for the Chicago Bears down below. As always, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and we will see you next time.